It's that simple.
And so each team hits a 2 for their team. The goal of the game. There were 6 two-point goals last week total through the 5 games that we had played. We've got 2 here.
Here again, we were trying to get that angle from the front or from my side of the field, so the camera angle was from that side, but there wasn't enough to overturn it. And then the contact that was pushed, the defenseman pushing that player, the ball came out of his stick before any landing of the crease. So without any of that inclusive evidence to overturn it, that goal is good.
What about the contact with Ward?
Nothing. Ball was in the goal, and Matty did.
The Waterdogs points. He hit a 2-pointer. He's got a 1-pointer. For the 5th-year pro out of Michigan.
But just to finish my point from earlier, why does Reeves throw to Courier, who's covered by a long pole, when you've got, I think that was Resch or Glacini at goal line extended, just attack that matchup?
Well, after a Earhart for Whipsnakes, Crawley for Atlas, Reeves for Waterdogs, Perkovic for Red Leaf, complete list last week. We already now have 3. O'Keefe and Corner here.
Think they still rock those stickers after, or is that kind of like, has that moment passed?
Well, we'll have to have Corey on the sideline do some investigative journalism. Late possession here as
defenseman to generate his own shot.
Late face-off here in the quarter. It'll be a violation that goes to Chaos with time winding down, and Aaron pass.
And I think credit to Waterdogs. Like, this is their style of pace. So if you're kind of like, where's this leaning? Where's this tilting? Like, advantage Waterdogs.
Adler had that one underneath and was able to send it ahead. This is still up for grabs. And it'll be picked up by Resch near the line. And hit the net. So a very different story here this week for Connor Kelly, who has been as involved as anybody in the offensive success for Waterdogs.
Wasn't really there in game 1, but who was?
Adler got the win, but he was tracked down. And they'll call the push. It'll stay with Chaos. And Withers was able to move that ball out, but then was called for violation, and the ball will go to Chaos. And Kyle Jackson, who was the last pick of the entry draft, coming over from the MLL, making his PLL debut here tonight.
You give offenses these sneaky little sloppy opportunities.
So Waterdogs have 2 from Reeves. They have 2 from Kelly. They have 3 from...
There was a lot of burning in that.
Here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium, former home of Atlanta Blaze.
What a loose ball by Courier.
It's impressive. And it's Courier. Little shovel pass, and the save made by Reardon on the...
And really from every angle, he's got every shot at his disposal, and there it was on display.
Ryan Brown traded from Atlas for the 11th overall pick in the college draft, which turned into Danny Lowe.
They're really leaning on Reeves' left hand. He kind of fooled Surdick by quickly splitting back to the right.
Adler comes up with a face-off for Chaos.
He's able to generate that half-step to step advantage, and that's all the space he needs to get his hands free.
6'3", he's 205. He's 24 years old. And it hasn't really worked for him at the pro level in the first 2 seasons, but certainly the top collegiate player in the 3 goals for Waterdogs, who have scored the last 3 goals in this game. No team has scored more than 3 consecutive goals in this one so far, but Waterdogs have a chance here. But the feed is off the mark.
After the fake shot, which he did last time.
This one will go to Chaos. Man has 4, but yeah, 6 would be number 1.
And to outpace one of the 2 face-off guys, that just demonstrates his impact on the game.
It's getting late here for Chaos, but they come up with the face-off. Chaos have missed their last 7 shots.
They needed a lifeline, and they got one.
you were getting into that territory where they're going to have to start trying. Now that they tried and they succeeded, you can calm down a little bit. But they have to keep it moving. That was their first goal in more than a quarter's worth of game action. And this ball still up for grabs, still alive, and it came to burn, and Andy Towers immediately calls timeout. Adler has won 50% of his faceoffs tonight, 11 of 22. He pushed that one ahead. He's tied up by Withers. Withers comes up with the ground ball.
Let's go back to the faceoff. You can see Adler with a kind of pinch and pop. And then Withers gets his stick in there. His free hand was maybe holding Adler. I mean, I get